Hey everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to show you how to make these gift bags. Now, some of you might be looking at this thinking, oh Sam, you've done loads of those, it's just a standard gift bag, but this one's a bit different. If you have any of your bag for lives, your shopper bags, some of you may notice that they fold from the middle. Now, I've done a lot of bags that fold up at the back, so you get that back crease, whereas this, you have lovely front and back. Still all folds flat, but all of that is hidden inside. And that's what I've done with these. So you can see on the side there, these are a lovely size. They're going to work for many occasions. Just change your papers if you're not doing anything for Easter. I've got these gorgeous papers and I'll show you all of that in a moment. And I've made myself 5 gorgeous gift bags here, all ready for Easter. Very easy to make, you don't need any specialty dies, so let me show you how. So to make one of these gift bags, you'll want 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock. Now I've got this lovely paper pad that I picked up from the Works. Happy Easter. They also had this one, so I'm going to probably use that for a few projects as well, but I just love the bold colours in this one. So I've just pulled out, there's 2 of each design as well, so I've got the carrot one there, got that lovely one with the bunnies and the eggs, bunnies and the carrots, and then this one with all the Easter eggs. For the handles, I purchased a ton of these bag handles. I think I got them on Amazon. I'll have the link shared below. You could probably get 2 sets of handles from each piece. So I'll just cut those ones down. Obviously it depends how long you want them to be, but it's just the twisted paper. So you can see you've got all those lighter tones there, and you got your darker ones as well. But again, I'll link it if I can in the description box. So for this one, I'm going to use the cute bunnies. It's got a little teapot there, which I thought was sweet, and they've got little hats on and the balloons. And then I've done a template because this is quite a busy paper, so it'd be easier for you to see the scoring. So I've already done my scoring on these, so I'm going to talk you through now on the template. So 2 pieces of 12 by 12, and you're going to score, make sure it's if it's directional, then you've got it the right way up. Along one side here, you're going to score at 7.5, 9.5 and 11.5. Then rotate the card so that 1/2 inch tabs at the bottom, and you're going to score at 2 and 4 on one piece. You then want to score at 2, 3.5 and 4 on another piece. That's the only difference in scoring. So one piece, all of this is normal on both of them, but on one of them you will score this way at 2 and 4, and on the other one you'll score at 2, 3.5 and 4. Basically, you don't want to have too much bulk on the bottom, so sticking 2 of these pieces on top of each other, it just didn't work. It's best to chop a piece away. So this is going to be a 1/2 inch tab to connect it basically. But once you've made them a few times, you may choose to keep it all. You know, some of you that are really kind of confident with making gift bags and boxes and stuff, you might think, actually, no, I'm going to keep it. But I just found by taking that off, it wasn't so bulky, basically. So that's the scoring with the scoreboard. You then need to do a little bit more scoring just here. So if you fold and burnish all of the score lines, and then with your ruler, I've got that 1/2 inch on the right-hand side. This 4-inch score line here, you want to come down to that 9.5 score line where it meets here, and you want to just mark up 2 inches from that score line. So basically this 4-inch one is your whole base, because it's the same as the 4 inches here on the side. So if you fold that up, so where you got your 4-inch, just so you know you're marking the right bit, just fold it like so. And then from the bottom of this 9.5 one, just put a little mark in the card, or a little pencil mark at 2 inches. Okay, and then open it back up because you don't want to score onto that bit, but you then want to score down here and here, and that's going to allow us to fold everything up inside the card. So it's 2 inches here, 2 inches here, and then it's 2 inches up. And then you want to do some cutting. So again, I'm going to cut this because it's so much easier on here. So you want to cut up this base score line up to the 4-inch, okay, and do the same here. Okay, and then remove all of this, and then you can turn this into a little tab. So take a little bit off of there and a little bit off of there. Then you want to cut this away completely, okay, and then you also want to cut up this one. So all those cuts are up to that 4-inch, and then if you take a little wedge off of this one, and this one, just so it all folds in nicely. So you want to have one piece that looks like this, and then you want to have another piece where you do all of that, but you're going to remove this. So you got the other one that looks like that with the 1/2 inch tab. Okay, so you'll have one that looks like this and one that looks like that. So hopefully by using the template, it's just been a bit easier for you to see and understand all that cutting. With the folds here, so you're going to do a mountain fold, this will become a valley, and then the tab is another mountain. Okay, so you've got mountain folds there. These need to become valley folds. Okay, so just pinch them up like that so it comes out like this, and then you'll fold these ones back in like so. So already we've got one corner. I'll show you that again. So you've got a mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold. Okay, like so. You then want to turn these into valley folds so it pops up, and then this will be mountain. And as you fold it all in, you see as you push that up, you want to tuck them in behind. And that's the same for that piece as well. Okay, it's the same folds. Okay, so I've got all my pieces here. You see they're all folding in, but you can take that all out. You don't need to worry about that too much. So now we can stick these together. So I've got the full piece, and then you've got the one with just the little 1/2 inch tab there. We want to stick these two together so we get that full bag there. I've got my quick grab glue here and just run that all down your 1/2 inch tab. And then where you got the fold there with that 1/2 inch tab, that score line there needs to line up with the bottom. So it lines up with this fold here. You just fold them both under, you can see there. If it's off at the top at all, you can always trim that. And then flip it all over. Fold over this one, and then add your glue again all down this tab, and then you can fold all of that main one over, and it should all line up. And give that a good burnish. And now if you just fold that down, you want to make sure it all folds down flat at this point, and then you know everything's nice and lined up. Okay, so you should have a big flap here, and then you've got your smaller 1/2 inch on that side. And this is where I said about by removing it, you've got less bulk overlapping the bottom. Now, I guess if you've got something heavy going in here, if you did keep this piece attached, use your construction glue. It's going to be obviously stronger. But for what I want, for them just to have some Easter eggs in and a few light gifts, I think this is going to, this is fine. So now what's going to happen is you want to fold in your tabs here, the 1/2 inch, and then these ones here, and then that one will go over the top like so. First of all, I'm just going to add a little glue just in the corners there, just to kind of tack that in place. Make sure it's at a nice right angle. Okay, so that's got a nice right angle there, just to kind of hold that in place. And again there, like so. And then I'm going to use my construction glue, and you're going to add your glue onto these 4 and that 1/2 inch tab. The reason why I've cut all this out here is because it's got to be able to sit nicely in here and close. If you didn't cut away any of that, it was quite a lot resisting against the card. And if you did cut it away and you think, actually, I would have preferred to have doubled it up, you could still add some card inside once it's all together. Okay, so now you can then just place that over the top until it's kind of all squared off, and just let it kind of initially grab. Flip it over this way, just go on in, just make sure it's kind of all glued down in place. But now, because you've already folded all of them, what you should be able to do is if you push your finger into the top of the triangle and push up the bottom here, it should all fold flat. Now you'll see you've got that folded up. Now what you might get is a little bit overhang here, and that's just obviously because of the way it's been folded, so you can just go in there and trim that off. If you've doubled it up, you might have a bit more. You might find a bit more of a resistance as well, so you might have to just play around. Plus everybody's cardstock weight is going to be a bit different as well. I didn't actually see what GSM this one is. 230, so it's a nice weight. But if you're using maybe a 300 GSM, you might find a bit more resistance there. Then open it back up again as that glue's drying, and just make sure all your sides are all kind of in place and all lined up and everything. But I think that looks pretty good to me. So now we've got two really nice front and back, no creases, no folds. Visually, I think it looks a lot more tidier and very professional. So now we can add these. Now I have punched holes in mine and then I fed it through and just added a bit of hot glue there. But if you want, you could just, if you've got similar to me here, you could just stick these behind. But I quite liked you seeing them from the outside. You might be using ribbon, you might have some chain, you might be using paper. It's entirely up to you how you add your handle. But to show you what I've done here, now I did my pencil marks 2 1/4 in from both sides, because 2 1/4 takes you past the fold. If you do them any closer here, you'll have to hole punch each one separately so you don't punch through this piece. But if I marked at 2 1/4 and I came down, what was it, 3/4 of an inch, about there, 2 1/4, and then 1, 2 1/4. And then I can just take my punch and I can just punch through all of it all at the same time. Like so. And then take one of these and I just pop that through there about an inch, and then pop some of my hot glue just behind and just push it down. Don't have to use hot glue, I just prefer it when I'm working with like materials. And just repeat that on the other side. And there's the finished gift bag. How lovely is that? It's a great size, opens nice and easily, ready to fill with some Easter treats. And like I said at the start, change your papers and this is going to be great for all occasions. It's just a really handy bag and a nice size. So a good one to make ahead of time as well, because these are very easy to store away. See, these have already been taken. I know exactly who I'm giving all of these to. I'm going to add some little personalised name tags on these. But certainly something, if you're, wanting something to make, you could just make a load of your own gift bags and keep them all for when you need them. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial from me today. As always, I will link as much of the product that I've used in the description box below. I will have my fold flat playlist coming up now if you want to go and see some other sizes there, because I know some of you probably can take the size there and then adapt the folds and the score lines that I've done in these to have them fold this way, if that's what you prefer. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.